To talk more about cartels and human smuggling at the border, I am bringing in Oscar Hagelsieb, now former Assistant Special Agent with the Homeland Security Investigations Unit in Mexico. Oscar, thank you for being here on this. And let's start with these new sanctions against the La Familia Michoacana cartel. What specifically do you make of this tactic of theirs of staging murder threats, staging kidnappings for migrants to get them through the border so they can successfully claim asylum, and then forcing those migrants to sell their drugs once they're here?
Well, that's nothing new. That's something that has been happening with the Mexican cartels for years. It's just more prevalent now with the influx of illegal immigrants coming in or migrants coming in. They have to find a way to circumvent, the laws that are in place as far as asylum is concerned. A lot of these migrants that are coming in from Central America, from Guatemala, from Venezuela, they're coached all the way up that this is what they have to say in order to meet the specific guidelines to request asylum in the United States.
What tools do we have here in the U.S. to discern these false claims from real and urgent asylum cases?
Well, everything happens, or the initial step, of course, is the initial interview when an immigrant is encountered. You got to understand, Border Patrol is inundated, especially right now with the influx of people coming in. They're very limited in the amount of questioning they can do. When you request asylum, you're automatically scheduled for a credible fear interview. In those interviews, those are meant from an asylum officer, those are meant to determine if in fact you have a credible fear for your life if you're returned back to your country. Unfortunately, there's so many applicants right now that it's real hard for that asylum officer to really pay attention to a particular person. Plus, they're all, I've experienced this personally when encountering aliens or illegal immigrants from Central America. They're very specific on what they need to say. For example, they'll say that, I came to the United States because my teenage child was being recruited by gangs. They were coming in and kidnapping them. And they all have similar, if not the exact same stories, but very similar stories. And it's very hard, it's specifically with Venezuela, since we don't have the diplomatic cooperation from them to determine if in fact these individuals are saying, are telling the truth. And furthermore, I say that since we don't have the relations with Venezuela, they're very reluctant to share even criminal history with individuals that Border Patrol is encountering on a daily basis, and some of them are being released to the general public, and a lot of them have criminal records, and we have no way of knowing that.
Yeah, the lack of record sharing is incredibly concerning. I do want to ask you, with the time we have, also this week, we know 24 people were charged in a money laundering scheme involving the Sinaloa cartel and an underground Chinese banking group. More than $50 million in drug profits covered up in California. How big of an issue is the cartel's collaboration with China, and how does this partnership work?
You know what? I think they're saying 15 million. I think that's a lowball figure. I think that the Chinese and specifically the Sinaloa cartel have here within the last 5 or 6 years have first it started with their partnership for fentanyl, right? That's where the Sinaloa cartel was getting most of the precursors and the fentanyl from the Chinese. So it was only a matter of time before the Chinese, which have been doing it for years with Chinese nationals in the United States, to kind of venture into that aspect of smuggling, money laundering, and they've set up their networks for years, so it's only natural that the Mexican cartels are going to take advantage of it.
All right, Oscar Hagelsieb, I appreciate hearing your perspective on all of this and your experience. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.